I'm trying to move this. Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still white.
Yeah, it's white. Yeah. So I'll need to get these things out of the way. Some of these things. So Krishna's mercy. I thought I'd do that today and tomorrow. And what I'd like is probably those who are listening in and participating to contribute, and tomorrow we can actually ask if everyone. Anyway, we'll walk you through and see how it works out for this weekend. So Krishna's mercy, and I just wanted to see why Lord is so merciful, and also how and in what form does His mercy come. And this was something we can explore today, tomorrow, and if you can participate. So if we can start by at least doing the Mangala Charan. This is Om Jnana Timirandasa Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshural Miltam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurue Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahayam Dadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadatam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Vitamsya. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namostate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchikal Patarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavobhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Dvita Gradar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So there is that word here, Karuna Sindhu. And we got Karuna Bandar singing wonderful songs. And then so that's Karuna is mercy aspect of Krishna. So, when we look at mercy, and in different ways, we can start to think that I saw this, came across this and said, in the Kali Yuga, the present age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the following things will diminish: religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, duration of life, bodily strength, and memory. So there, mercy is included, and these are the first aspect. I mean, religion, what we understand religion is the difference between religion and dharma, so that we can explore a bit, but it's not like mazhab, or a way of life. Some people just man-made religions, and Sanatan Dharma is actually the eternal laid down by Krishna, so it's like, difference between gravity. You can't eliminate gravity as such. It's there. By the order of Krishna, gravity acts. So there's somewhere they're saying, by the order of Krishna, the sun goes around in its orbit, and the sun obeys Krishna's order. It doesn't even move an inch either this way or that way. If it did, there would be a total change in the atmosphere. And then everything else is dependent on sun. So religion is truthfulness, cleanliness. We've got to be more and more clean now. Everywhere I go, you got to be sterilizing hands and sterilizing this and that, keep the virus away. Mercy, so mercy is one aspect that maybe we can discuss on this and saying, oh, I can show mercy if I'm in a position that somebody can show me mercy or not show me mercy. And then some people are merciful, and they talk about mercy in different way, and if you're gonna slaughter or kill a chicken or something like that, and you're thinking am I showing mercy or not? Or, so it can be interpreted in so many ways, but it's diminishing now. But this song here, O he Vaishnava Thakora, Dayare Sagara, Edase Karuna Kori, Diyapada Chaya, Sodahe Yamaya, Tomara Sharana Dori. So there's verse there, which says Krishna is Karuna. So O Vaishnav Thakur, Dayare Sagara. So Vaishnav's Daya Sagar, when you say Sagar, ocean of mercy. So this song here, which can quite easily sing it, but we don't have time. Chaya bega domi, chaya dosa sodi, chaya guna deho dase, chaya satta sanga, deho e amare, voseji sangera ase. So asking for chaya meaning shelter, dosa, sodi, guna, deho, dase. You can pick out some words. Ekake amara nahi pai bale. Ekake, on my own, amara nahi pai bale. Harinama sankirtana. Tumi kripa kori. So again, there's another word, kripa kori. Shraddha bindu diya. Shraddha, you've given me faith. Deha Krishna name dhana. Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite par. Tomara sakati ache. Amito kangale, Krishna Krishna bole, Dai tava pache pache. I love this song actually, and if I can sing it with instruments, but that's the translation. Does somebody want to read the translation? O Venerable Vaishnav, devotee of Krishna, O ocean of mercy, be merciful unto your servant. Give me the shade of your lotus feet and purify me. I hold on to your lotus feet. Teach me to control my six passions, rectify my six faults, bestow upon me the six qualities, and offer me the six kinds of holy associations. So maybe you can think about the six passions, six faults, six qualities, something you can explore, but I do not find the strength to carry on alone the Sankirtan of the holy name of Hari. Please bless me to give me just one drop of faith with which to obtain the great treasure of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is yours. You have the power to give him to me. I am simply your servant running behind you, shouting, Krishna, Krishna. So this is a nice song, and this is somebody begging for the mercy. And then, his devotees, like it's described here, Krishna, oh Vaishnava Thakur, oh venerable Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna. So devotees of Krishna, somehow, they're an ocean of mercy, and they can be merciful unto your servant. So we want to be servant of servants. So this is one aspect, but I thought we would explore this, by looking at where Krishna is showing mercy, how mercy can come upon us, or has it come upon us? Are we fortunate, misfortunate? Who is, who isn't? So starting off that, first of all, I'm still looking at Bhagavad Gita, and in this verse, so we can start by reading this verse as well, where Krishna is saying how he's showing mercy, So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this verse, Bhagavad Gita 10:11, it's quite very unique, where Krishna is saying, Tesam evanu kampartham aham ajnana janatama nasyayam atma bhavasto jnana deepena pasvata. So this verse, anybody wants to take part in it, then by all means. Tesam means for them, and eva is certainly. Anukampa artham, to show special mercy. Again, Krishna is saying anukampa, artham. Aham, I. Agyana, due to ignorance, tama, darkness, nasyami, dispel, atma bhava within their heart and star situated, jnana, knowledge, and dipena, with the lamp, bhasvata, glowing. So dipena we can understand is like a deeper lamp. Translation: to show special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So as Krishna is saying, this is what is he's dwelling in everyone's heart, and so he's there dwelling in everyone's heart, in every living entities, and somehow Krishna says, I'm there. And I give them the knowledge, with the shining lamp of knowledge, the darkness born of ignorance. So obviously, this reflects that we're all born in ignorance, and we're born in darkness. So when the womb is totally dark, when we come into this material world without the sun giving its light, and Krishna ordering the sun to give the light, as I earlier commented, there would be no awareness for us as to what is around us. Total darkness. You can quite easily think, am I standing on a rope or am I standing on a snake? And then if you didn't know, you would be just living in fear. But once you know the truth, oh, it's just a rope, then all the fear is gone. Otherwise you would be thinking, is it a cobra I'm standing on or what? So, once the fear is gone because of the knowledge that we have, we are aware. So, like that, darkness is gone. So, um, to anybody, this is the purport then. When Lord Chaitanya was in Benares promulgating the chanting of the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakashanand Saraswati, a very influential and learned scholar in Benares at that time, derided Lord Chaitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that is not a fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. So there, in this purport, Prabhupada is saying that, there are learned scholars who've put forward these philosophy of devotion and all that. But if you don't even take advantage of the literatures or his spiritual master, but at least if he's sincere, then Krishna will start to help from within. And that's been I can say from my personal experience, they will go initiated, a spiritual master, but sometimes I have not been able to take full advantage of his, when he was around and he used to visit. Sometimes I didn't take full advantage of his association. And I did serve him as best as I can, but sometimes you don't. Even Prabhupada was around. Guru Maharaj, Krishna's Maharaj was one day explaining to me when I was driving up on M1 with him, bringing him from London to Coventry on the way. And he was explaining that when Prabhupada was around, there are a lot of Indians who came, and a lot of people actually, came in contact with him. And then obviously Guru Maharaj joined and started helping Prabhupada and serving Prabhupada. He took in, sannyas. But Maharaj was saying how after Prabhupada left, there were so many who were actually realizing, and they regretted that actually I did come across Prabhupada and I never actually understood, took advantage of, so this can happen. So as I carry on with the purport, the Mayavadi philosophers think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in the pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education and even without sufficient knowledge of the Vedic principles, are still helped by the Supreme God, as stated in this verse. So there, even the. So what I wanted to do is I've read part of the purport. There is a further part which we'll go through. So I wanted to sort of ask if people, while I'm reading, you can pick out in the purport some of the themes that come up, right? So I've highlighted like this one here. It says Lord Chaitanya, okay? There's a mention of Lord Chaitanya. There's a mention of Mayavadi philosophers. And I want you to make a note of this and then look at this purport. And it's like diving a bit deep into the purport of Sri Prabhupada and then explore it a bit, maybe today, tomorrow. And I'll set you all a task if you can do that and then try and make this a bit interactive. So look forward to some people contributing, those who are listening in and are awake and still with me. And then there's also like Vedic principles that's mentioned in this purport. Prabhupada mentioned that. Derided Lord Chaitanya, what does that actually mean? Sentimentalists, what does that actually mean? Is kind of looking further into it. So if you make a note of that sort of thing, what I've just done, okay? And then this is the second part of this purport here. The Lord tells Arjun that basically there's no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he's not devoted, if he's not a lover of the supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme truth. Only by devotional service is the supreme truth, Krishna, pleased, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart. And with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is a special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Due to the contamination of material association, through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotion service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust of quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about the material necessities of life. He need not be anxious because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the Lord devotee. This is the essence of the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engages himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely freed from all kinds of material endeavors. So this is the purport. And as I was saying, if some of you might want to take part, but as we dive deep into this, I thought that, like key themes that you can pick out, like I said, like Lord Chaitanya, Mayavadi philosophers, Vedic principles, darkness of ignorance. There are so many other things, that little things that you can highlight and pick out. And what I would like you to do is that, reflect on this, and then maybe tomorrow, some of you, and give you an overnight. This is like an overnight kind of reflection on your part as to what you can do. And tomorrow, if you can, and if Nabi agrees, and if everybody wants to, and if that's the route you want to go down, then otherwise, I'll carry on with this theme. That you can give at the most 3 or 4 points, or your own bit of research on your part as to what does it mean to you, and how is it important, or how is that reflected in the way Krishna's mercy is working in our lives. So you can pick out a theme like this, and then tomorrow you can share it with everyone, and give you 5 minutes at the most for each person. So I don't know how many people there are here.
Good idea. It's a good idea.
What do you think?
Definitely good idea.
They can just pick out a little bit. So tonight they can just look into a few things and say, okay, Lord Chaitanya, okay, if I can pick that as a theme for 5 minutes, what can you say about Lord Chaitanya tomorrow? For 5 minutes. You can either do a diagrammatic or info kind of thing, or you can do a presentation, PowerPoint presentation. I'll show you what I did once, when I had to, I'll get out of this. I did a little thing which give you an idea. I did something on captivated by fruits. So I picked a theme like that once, and I'll give you an example. So this was my theme I picked out from a purport, that the soul or the living entity is captivated by the fruits. Well, what does that mean actually in the purport? So I said, captivated by the fruits, Bhagavad Gita 2.22, that was the verse. And in that verse, it said, captivated by the fruits, and then something, and the purport, and Prabhupada just talked about it. I said, what does it actually mean? So let me just expand on this a bit. This is what I did. Of these two birds, although they are the same in quality, one is captivated by the fruits of the material tree. And that was the purport and the bit of what Prabhupada said. So I looked and I said, well, okay, I can do this. All these people here are just captivated by the fruits of their action here. They're enjoying, they're all produce some fruits or this. And when you look at people, they're all engrossed in their own way. And you can see them, some are drinking, eating, fresh air, diving into on the beach and this and that. So they're all captivated. So then I said, okay, what do you think this picture show you, and what does it reflect? Can somebody comment on any of this? So when I asked this question, obviously, some of you, I hope you're with me, some of you guys. This is a reindeer which is actually so engrossed in drinking the water and enjoying the fruit of that, and then as it's doing it, it starts to look at its antlers in the reflection and start to think, wow, amazing, look at my antlers. They are so beautiful. And he starts to admire, and then he's so engrossed in it that, he's drinking the water and all. But at the same time, it's actually, the deer is drinking water and start to admire its beautiful antlers, but is unaware of any dangers and praying that it doesn't become a prey. So he's thinking that I hope I don't get attacked, I mean, it's like a prey, I hope I don't get shot at, or a lion down pounce on me and all that. But it forgets that, I'm so engrossed in my beauty of my antlers. So it's praying that it doesn't get eaten up. Okay. So it's praying to Krishna. And then here's a lion, and he's going about, he's so hungry, he hasn't had a meal for days. And he's thinking, I've got to feed my pride. I've got to, and there is a deer. I don't know, I should be pouncing on that now. So Krishna, obviously the lion is praying that I get some fresh meat to eat. And then deer is saying, I hope I don't get eaten up today. So whose prayer should Krishna answer? Can anybody give any views or ideas?
You'll have to answer both, right?
What do you think? But if he answers the prayer of the lion, then somebody might blame Krishna and say you're biased, you favoring the lion. And if he answer the other way, then the blame that, oh, Krishna is biased towards the deer. So what would Krishna do? Because Krishna says I'm neutral. What do you think Krishna would do? So I said, okay, Krishna said, I'm going to put a little rodent in the grass nearby, the deer, and let the rodent kind of, make the rustling sound. And if the deer is alerted, then it might save itself. So that's what Krishna will do. He put a little rodent or some sort of signal or something or the other, and just to kind of say, hey, So if the deer is so engrossed in the beauty and so engrossed in the fruits of its action that he doesn't take notice of the rodent or the noise, then it'll be, if the lion jumps on it, then it won't be able to save itself because it's too engrossed. And if it doesn't take notice and it runs away, then I think, wow. So Krishna can say, well, I did put a bit of a signal sign. So there, I expanded this bit further. Said these are people enjoying themselves, so engrossed in their own fruits of actions and all that, and suddenly, they know that death is awaiting them. Time will consume them, and all. We all know that the philosophy goes into deep. But then suddenly there comes a party of devotees going by singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And they're sitting on the pavement, eating, drinking, and all that. And suddenly they hear the sound of these kartalas and musical instruments and all that. And then if they do take it notice, some might say, what is Hare Krishna? They're annoying and all that and all that. But somehow, if they do take to the spiritual sound and spiritual noise, then they can gain some spiritual benefit from it. So that was my little presentation, just on captivated by the fruits. I hope that makes sense. But that's what I did, So like that, what we are doing with our theme today, which is Krishna's mercy, that you can actually explore what you can come up with. I mean, you might not come up with a PowerPoint presentation like that, but you can actually do a few things like maybe produce just a picture or a mind map or a diagram or just a talk, just 3 or 4 points, 5 points. Anyway, if that is something you want to do, then by all means, tomorrow's session we can actually expand on this and dive deeper into. But you can actually do some more research, but there is a mercy aspect elsewhere. If not, we'll expand. Well, we'll go further tomorrow in looking at another verse as well. And something else, like I picked up, like Prabhupada saying, like, for example, in this section here, I said, oh, Vishwanath Chakravarti says in his prayers to the spiritual master, Yasya Prasade Bhagavad Prasade. So by the mercy of the spiritual master, one receives the benediction of Krishna. Thus, if one surrenders to the bona fide guru, we surrender to God. God accepts our surrender. So like that, there might be areas you can explore like that. So I'll leave it up to you if you feel you want to participate. Nabi, it's...
Yeah, no, thank you so much. Fantastic. And it's a good idea about tomorrow. I hope devotees will make some effort and participate. That's good. That's good.
So while before we actually then go, then what you can do is actually go back to this section here, and previously here, I can keep this on for now, and give a few minutes to sort of pick out a few things, here. If somebody wants, if they want to, or if they've got a Bhagavad Gita at home, then they can look at this verse and reflect on it or focus on it tonight. And the previous one, which I think go back. So anyway, if that's, I'm trying to go back to the yeah, this section here. Yeah, so if people want to, if they want to participate tomorrow, I'll give you about like tomorrow. Then you can start off by giving everyone 5 minutes just to see what they picked up, what they can share, and I mean, pick something like sentimentalist. What does it mean to you? Who's a sentimentalist? Are we sentimentalists? What does it mean? Why did Prabhupada talk about someone being sentimentalist? Darkness of ignorance. Reflect on that. Pure knowledge. What does it actually mean? Pure knowledge. We got knowledge. You can expand on it. Knowledge, like there's material knowledge, there's spiritual knowledge, there's knowledge about all these different aspects. You need knowledge, education, so you can expand on it like that. Anyway, that was my kind of idea. If that's the way you want to go. Okay.
Okay, good. So any questions, any comments?
Yeah. Who's there? Okay, we'll see then what tomorrow brings.
Yeah, good.
His presentation, Prabhu,
Very good.
give us a good idea of how to
Present.
really dig into the philosophy and everything.
Yeah, I've done a few other reflections like that with it can be a PowerPoint presentation, but these days, if you go on to some site called canva.com, you can create a design or a leaflet or like an infographic. I like that idea of sort of infographics, that you can sort of, or anyway, this technology is different. In my days, I would have just thought of just making notes. You can do a mind map, isn't it? Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Very good. So we can go for machine coach. Let me just see if I can find it.
Is it enough time? I think that's it.
Plenty of time. It's good.
I
Okay.
think Riaj would have wanted to contribute quite a lot, tell his own
Yeah.
story.
He has a drama practice now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Karuna.
Hare Krishna, Shri Shri Ashwini Shingadev ki jai,
Jai.
Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Shri
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Guru
Jai.
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Nrsimha kavacham vakshe, Prahladena ditam pura, Sarvarakshakaram punyam, Sarvopadravanashanam, Sarvasampatkaram chaiva, Swargamoksha pradayakam, Dhyadva narasimham devesham, Hema simhasanastitam, Vivretashyam trinayanam, Sharadindushamaprabham, Lakshmyalingitam Vamangam, Vibhutibirupashitam. चतुर्भुजं कोमलाङ्गं स्वर्णकुण्डलशोभितं श्रियासु शोभितोरस्कं रत्नकेयूरमुद्रितं तप्तकाञ्चनशङ्काशं पीतनिर्मलवाससं इन्द्रादिसुरमौलिष्ठः स्फुरन्माणिक्यदीप्तिभिः विराजितापदद्वन्द्वं शङ्खचक्रादिहेतिभिः गरुत्मता च विनयात् स्तूयमानं मुदान्वितम् स्वरितकमलसंवासं कृत्वा तु कवचं पतेत् नरसिंहो मे शिरः पातु लोकरक्षार्थसम्भव सर्वगोभिः सम्भव सफलं मे रक्षतु ध्वनिं नरसिंहो मे दृशो पातु सोमसूर्यानिलोचन स्मितं मे पातु नरहरि मुनिवार्यस्तुतिप्रिय नासं मे सिंहनाशस्तु मुखं लक्ष्मीमुखप्रिय सर्वविद्यादिपापातु नरसिंहो रसनां मम वक्त्रं पाद्बिन्दुवदनं सदा प्रह्लादवन्दित नरसिंह पातु मे कण्ठं स्कन्धो भूभरणान्तकृत् दिव्यास्त्रशोभितभुज नरसिंह पातु मे भुजौ करौ मे देवा वरदो नरसिंह पातु सर्वतः हृदयं योगिसाध्याश्च निवासं पातु मे हरि मध्यं पातु हिरण्याक्ष कक्षाकुक्षिविदारण नाभिं मे पातु नरहरि सुनाभिब्रह्म संस्तुत ब्रह्माण्डकोटया कट्यां यास्यस्तौ पातु मे कटिं गोयं मे पातु गोयानां मन्त्राणां गोयरूपद्रि पुरुमनो भव पातु जानुनी नररूपद्रि जाङ्गे पातु धराभार हर्ता योऽसौ निकेशरि सूरराजा प्रदपातु पादौ मे नररीश्वर सहस्रशीर्ष पुरुष पातु मे शतशस्तनु मनोग्रह पूर्वता पातु महावीराग्रजोन्नित महाविष्णु दक्षिणे तु महाज्वालस्तु नैऋत पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेषु दिशि मे सर्वतोमुख नरसिंह पातु वायाव्यां सौम्यां भूषणविग्रह ईशान्यां पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायक संसारभयतः पातु मृत्योर्मृत्योर्निकेशरि इदं नरसिंहं कवचं प्रह्लादमुखमन्वितं भक्तिमान् जपते नित्यं सर्वपापै प्रमुच्यते पुत्रवान् धनवान् लोके दीर्घायुरुपजायते यं यं कामयते कामं तं तं प्राप्नोति असंशयम् सर्वत्र जयमाप्नोति सर्वत्र विजयी भवेत् भूम्यन्तरिक्षदिव्यानां ग्रहाणां विनिवारणं वृश्चिकरोगसम्भूतविशापाहरणं परं ब्रह्मरक्षासु याक्षाणां दुरोत्सारणकारणं भुजे वा तालपत्रे वा कवचं लिखितं शुभं कर्मूले जितां येन सिद्धेयुः कर्मसिद्ध्यया देवासुर्मनुष्येषु समसमेव जयं लभेत् एकसन्ध्यं त्रिसन्ध्यं वा यापाते नियतो नर सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्यं भुक्तिं मुक्तिं च विन्दति द्वात्रिंशतिसहस्राणि पातेषु धात्मनं मीनं कवचस्यास्य मन्त्रस्य मन्त्रसिद्धिः प्रजायते अनेन मन्त्रराजेन कृत्वा भस्माभिर्मन्त्रणम् तिलकं पिप्रियाद्यस्तु तस्य ग्रहभयं हरेत् विवरं जपमानस्तु दत्तं वर्याभिमन्त्रस्य प्रशयेद्यो नरो मन्त्रं नरसिंहध्यानमाचरेत् तस्य रोगप्रणश्यन्ति ये चक्षुकुक्षिसम्भवा किमत्र बहुनोक्तेन नरसिंहसदृशो भवेत् मनुषा चिन्तितं यत्तु सत्तच्चाप्नोत्य संशयम् गर्जन्तं गर्जयन्तं निजभुजपटलं स्फोटयन्तं हतन्तं दीप्यान्तं तापयन्तं दिविभुवि दितिजं क्षेपयन्तं क्षिपन्तं क्रन्दन्तं रोषयन्तं दिशि दिशि सततं संहरन्तं हरन्तं दीक्षान्तं पूरयान्तं करनिकरशतै दिव्यसिंहं नमामि इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे प्रह्लादोक्तं श्रीनरसिंहकवचं सम्पूर्णम्। ऋषि लक्ष्मी सिंहदेव की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, शपोपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you so much. Very good. Shyama Malini, would you like to sing?
Yes, Prabhu, I will sing.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste Nara Shimhaya Praladala Dadahini Hiranyaka Shipuravaksa Silatanaka Nakalaye Ito Nashimo Parato Nashimo Yato Yamitato Nashimo Bahir Nashimo Hidaye Nashimo Narashiham Adim Saranam Prapadai Tavakara Kamalavare Nakama Bhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanuvri
Yeah.
Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jai Jagadisha Hari Jaya Narsimhade Jaya Narsimhade Jaya Narsimhade Jaya Narsimhade Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jai Jai Shri Nrsimhadev ki Jai
Jai.
Jai Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai
Jai. Jai.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai
Jai.
Krishna Balram ki Jai
Jai.
Gurudev ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you so much. So let's do one round of Mahamantra. Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Shri Guru Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण, हरे कृष्ण।